Good afternoon. The purpose of today's video is to show how to add and subtract decimals, but in this case just add decimals, showing the 4 different strategies. Remember, we talked about in class how we learn all 4 strategies and we're responsible for understanding all 4, but when we're given a problem of adding or subtracting decimals, we are able to just choose which strategy we prefer. So this is a video just to recap on all 4 of the strategies we've learned that all get the same answer. So the first strategy I'm going to share with you is one that is probably the most conceptual and visual example, which is with base 10 blocks. So we're going to call this square base 10. Okay, so for this one, we're familiar in class with using these base 10 models. The first number, 5.73, I'm going to write out 5.73. That number is like having 5 holes and 73 parts of that hole. So remember, with the base 10 blocks, this large square represents a hole. So I need 5 of those. Then we have 7 tenths. So remember, tenths is like the 10 rods. And then 3 hundredths, which are those tiny Unifix cubes. All right. The second number we're adding is 3.19. So just like before, we have 3 holes, and then we have 1/10 rod, and then 9 Unix cubes. All right, if we add them together, we are always going to start with the ones column, just as if we would in standard algorithm. So I have 9 here, so if I bring this little dot down, this forms actually a tenth. So I'm going to add 1/10 column. So we'll separate this. This is as if this is our answer. Okay. Now we have 2 little unit cubes left. Those can't equate to anything, so we're just going to put them down here. Now I have all of these tenths rods. The next question would be, do I have enough to create a unit cube here, which would be 10 of them? But unfortunately I don't. I have 1 down here and 7 more, which only gives me 8. All right, so I have a total of 8, so I'm finished with those. Now I have 1, which is the 9. So I still have 9 and not enough. I'm going to count these to see if I can make a thousandths cube. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't have enough, so I'm just going to add all 8. All right, so my final answer would be 892. In this case, it is 8 holes, 92 hundredths. Remember, these Unifix cubes look the exact same whether we take the decimal out and are talking about hundreds as holes, or if we put the decimal in and are talking about holes and parts of holes. The second example I want to show you is actually with money. Right? This is something that we've understood probably since first grade, possibly even kindergarten for some of you. I'm going to represent $5.73 first. Well, what's most efficient is probably a $5 bill. And then we have the quarter, and we have another quarter, so that gives me to 50. I can't do another quarter, so I have to do a dime, which gives me to 60. Another dime, which gives me to 70, and 3 pennies. So that's the first one. Then we add that to $3. 1, 2, and 3. And we have to show 19. Well, the most efficient way to do that would be a 10, a 5, which gives me 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. I'm going to show a squiggly line to show that I'm going to add those together. Once again, I always start with the ones column. Here I'm going to add my small coins first to see what I can do with those. So let's see if I can make a nickel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I sure can. So I clump all of these together and I create myself a nickel down here. All right. Now I have 2 more pennies. That's not enough. So I'm going to put my 2 pennies down here. So I'm done with all of these. Now I'm going to see if I can create a dime. I have a nickel. Well, I can't do that. But these 2 nickels could go together to create a dime if I would like. Okay. Then I have 3 dimes, which is not quite enough to make a quarter. You could have taken 2 dimes and a nickel to make that if you wanted. I'm just going to put all three of these down here. And my 2/4. Right? And then I'm going to put my $5 bill and my 3 $1. So far I have 5, 6, 7, 8 point. That makes 50, 60, 70, 80, 85, 90, 91, 92. $8.92, which was the same amount as when we did the base 10 blocks. The third type I would like to show you is just the standard algorithm, which is usually preferred, but you have to understand the other conceptual ones too. So here's the standard algorithm. We have 5 and 73/100 plus 3 and 19/100. Start with the ones. 9 plus 3 is 12, so I have to carry to regroup. 7, 1, and 1 is 9. Here are all my decimal points. And 5 and 3 is 8, so 8 and 92/100. See a trend, I hope. All right, and in the last one we have number line. For number line, this is actually considered an open number line, so we're going to draw the line all the way across. We're going to start with our first number we're given, which in this case is 5 and 73/100, and we're adding 3 and 19/100. We're going to add our whole numbers first, which means we do a big hop and we add 3 wholes, which would bring us to 8 and 73/100. Remember, the 73/100 is still there. Now we have to add 19/100 still. So I'm actually going to add my tenths first, which is plus 0.10, which gives me 8 and 83/100. Now I have to add 9. You can add this in any way you like. I'm actually going to add 5 of it first, 0.05 first. And that brings me to 8 and 88/100. I have to add to 9, so I'm going to add plus 0.02 next, which brings me to 8.90, and then plus 0.02 again, which brings me to 8.92. Notice that 5, 2, and 2 made 0.9, and you can hop that in any way that you like. So hopefully you are understanding and are able to work with all 4 strategies.